In this video, I'm going to list 5 animals that I want. I don't know that I'd be ready to take care of all of these within the next week, but they're also not long shots like a Bengal tiger. 3 of them are perfectly legal for anyone to own, at least in Arizona. And the other 2, I think maybe with some small permit would be fine. I couldn't find a straight answer. But without further ado, I'm gonna get started. So if you find this video educational and or entertaining, please leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Starting off with number 5 is goats. This is something that me and my dad have talked about and definitely want, but we would have to worry about putting up a fence and finding the right ones to buy. And it's just not gonna happen yet, but it's a very real possibility. And I think they would be very fun. Because they're livestock, but I don't know how you play with a cow. And I think sitting in a pen with goats for an hour would be entertaining. I always like petting zoos, and I think they make hilarious noises, and they chew on your shirt, which is annoying, but I also I don't know. Goats are funny animals. Nigerian Dwarf Goats are definitely the ones we've been looking into. I think the one thing that we're hesitant on is they are escape artists, apparently. I didn't realize goats would be so good at escaping. They don't seem that mischievous. Number 4 on my list is Australian pythons. I think a lot of Australian animals are awesome. Unfortunately, most of them are very deadly. This is not the case with Australian pythons. I'm not too particular, but the 2 I had in mind was either a spotted python or a black-headed python. I think they're beautiful. You could create some great bioactive terrariums with them, mimicking the Australian landscape. And they're not something everyone has. I don't remember the last time I heard of somebody owning one of those when it wasn't like in a store. And I did see a baby spotted python that was probably like that long in a pet store one time, and it was one of the coolest reptiles I've ever seen. I haven't dove super far into their care. I think it's pretty typical for pythons, but I just think spotted pythons and black-headed pythons are 2 gorgeous snakes. Now, spotted pythons, I want to say, I'll correct myself, but I want to say that they get around 3 feet, and black-headed maybe up to 7 or 8. Number 3 is monitor lizards. I think they're awesome, but they are a whole lot of care. Their temperament needs to be kept in check. Obviously, it's never good to have an aggressive reptile, but a monitor lizard can do some real damage, especially because not only can they bite, but they also have sharp claws. However, what draws me to them is basically all of them are absolutely beautiful. Some of my favorites are green tree monitors, lace monitors, and I think Ackies are really cool. Not to mention, I really just want a big terrarium just so I can decorate it. I like creating mini pieces of nature for these animals. And even though their intelligence and size can be a drawback, but also a lot more fun. You just need more caution with a monitor lizard, and more commitment, and a bigger terrarium than a 40-gallon, and I can't really get anything bigger than that at the moment. Okay, coming down to number 2 is raccoons. Like I said, you can't legally own them in Arizona, and I can't figure out exactly what you would have to do to legally own one, but I see those videos of people owning the babies and treating them like puppy dogs, and it's just awesome. And I've seen a few full-grown ones in captivity. Obviously, they're dangerous, and you have to be careful and know what you're doing, which is probably why anybody can't go buy one. But I think if I knew what I was doing and could tame one down, it would be very fun to have as a backyard animal, because they're smart and they can be trained to do certain things, and fluffy and just cool looking. Coming down number 1 is otters. Otters are one of my favorite animals. They are hilarious and cute, and I really like semi-aquatic animals. Because, again, I think a lot of things that I really want is sometimes just to build the enclosure. Anyway, they're very sociable and intelligent animals that can be fun to play with. The drawback is from watching videos from Blake's Exotic Animal Ranch, I know they can be quite bitey and they have sharp teeth. Again, it makes sense that not anyone could own one of these, but I would really like to. Especially because they can be in groups. Even though I don't think they have to be, you just as a person need to get them a lot of interaction. They cannot be alone. Although, I'm sure most people know how bad ferrets smell. They're a ferret that's always wet. So obviously you wouldn't want it in your bedroom. Well, you couldn't keep it in your bedroom, but you know what I'm saying. And I'll need to look up what the size requirements are on some of these animal enclosures and put it in the description or on screen or something. But that's all I really had, is I just wanted to talk about some animals I think are cool, but also not like my favorite animals of all time, because I think rhinos are cool. But obviously I'm not owning a rhino. We'll see if the raccoon or the otter happens. The first three, totally. Raccoons or otters, I don't know yet. But thank you for watching. Please remember to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.